5 asaltos por el título peso ligero de Bellator Fighting Championships. This bout, 5 rounds for the Bellator Fighting Championships lightweight title. Presentado por, being brought to you by Ford Motor Company. Hecho con Fuerza Ford y ESPN Deportes. Los jueces son, the judges are Imada, Rich Green y Héctor Gómez. El referee, Jason Herzog. Presentando la esquina azul, introducing the blue corner. Vestido de pantaloncillos blancos con color rojo y negro. He steps into the ring, wearing the white trunks trimmed in red and black. Detuvo la báscula, un peso oficial de 154 libras y un cuarto. He tipped the scales at an official 154 1/4 pounds. Practica el arte marcial de estilo libre y a nivel profesional. Mantiene un récord de 22 victorias con 12 derrotas. He is a freestyle fighter with an extensive MMA record of 22 victories against 12 losses. Representing Throwdown Elite, Los Ángeles, California, Toby Imada. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, vestido de blanco con negro y gris. He steps into the ring wearing white trimmed in black and gray. Su peso oficial, 155 libras. His official weight, 155 pounds. Un especialista en boxeo que a nivel profesional mantiene un récord de 17 victorias y solo 2 derrotas. He is a boxer, which on the professional record has 17 victories against only 2 losses. Representing the Fight Factory, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Eddie Alvarez.
So Eddie's wife Jamie and his mother and father in the building as their son tries to win a world championship
no final questions from
here on United States soil.
No final questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come out ready to fight.
And you know, we saw Jorge Masvidal earlier tonight get the first submission win of his career. Eddie Alvarez, a guy who came into Bellator without a true submission win, and in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, able to choke out his opponent.
I think it's pretty safe to say that Eddie Alvarez will not be submitting the Toby Triangle Imada.
Let's fight!
Yeah, great clash of styles here. Toby Imada, a submission guy. Eddie Alvarez, a knockout artist. We'll see how it plays out. 5 rounds, if necessary, to decide the first Bellator lightweight champion.
I think this fight's going to have fireworks all over it. We saw that Toby Imada is more than willing to stand and trade with guys like Jorge Masvidal. And you know, Eddie Alvarez, obviously a fantastic striker himself, and says that his fights that he's stood and traded with guys were the ones that not only did he like the most, he got him the most recognition. Fights like Kawajiri, which I think was Fight of the Year last year.
And Eddie Alvarez has won championships for smaller shows here in the U.S., but this would be the capstone to his young career if he could get it done here tonight against Toby Imada. And Alvarez coming in tonight as the overwhelming favorite. Any line you saw out there, some as high as a 4-1 underdog, was Toby Imada entering the fight tonight against Eddie Alvarez.
You hear the crowd beginning to chant Eddie about a minute into the fight here. Speaking of being an underdog, there's no way that Toby Imada thinks he's a big underdog. He thinks he's probably a 51-49 coin flip here because he's bringing it to Eddie the whole fight this far.
And of course, Imada has excelled throughout his MMA career as an underdog, but this is a stiff test here as he works for the takedown. Alvarez gives up his back there briefly. But Eddie Alvarez has a whole lot of respect for Toby Imada. Wasn't taking this opponent lightly whatsoever.
No, not one bit. Even when they both won their semifinal matches in the ring, Eddie was saying how much respect he had for Toby and thought he was a great fighter. And you know that he knows he's dangerous on the ground.
Of course, we mentioned Toby Imada going the distance with Jake Shields several years ago, and Jake Shields hasn't lost in several years now, doing damage for Strikeforce. So Toby Imada's been in a lot of wars.
Yeah, Toby Imada's resume looks like a who's who of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Jason Miller, Joe Stevenson, Jason Von Flute, who he beat by armbar. You know, Antonio McKee, like you said, Jake Shields. I mean, he's not losing to slouches, and even though his record is 22-12. a big handful of those are coming to guys that are in the top 20 or 30 of their division, considering there's hundreds and thousands of people in your division. Toby Imada's creeping up the rankings.
And we've really seen with Eddie Alvarez the evolution of the mixed martial artist over the past 18 months or so. Of course, the aforementioned 2 submission wins now on his resume. He is the complete package, and that's why no matter what rankings you look at, he's a consensus top 2 or 3 guy in the world and deserves to be there.
Absolutely. I mean, Eddie Alvarez. Oh, beautiful judo sweep there by Toby Imada. Just not able to capitalize on it, but man, what a great sweep.
No feel-out process here. Both guys willing to exchange early.
Eddie Alvarez said he's more than happy to stand and trade for 5 rounds. Toby Imada obviously wants to get this to the ground. The only problem that Eddie Alvarez has had in the past is that his chin has been a little bit suspect. Never knocked out, although he did get the bell rung a little in his first fight. A little flash knockout, and he regains really quick.
And Jay, does it look a little bit like Toby Imada is getting the better of these exchanges? Maybe has Eddie a little out of sorts here in the early going, no?
This is a close fight to call this far in. What I'm surprised is that both of these guys have stayed clinched for the first 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, if I'm Eddie, I want to push off of Toby's face, create some space, and throw some punches.
Well, Eddie Alvarez knew Toby Imada was for real, and I think now as we approach the 1-minute mark in round number 1, he knows acutely just how real a threat Toby Imada is. The Alvarez corner, calling for the overhand right.
Yeah, Toby Imada is dangerous. He has good head movement. His boxing works a lot better than we thought it did.
And Imada might be well served to get those hands up. I know he's trying to get a shot in, but you keep those hands down against Eddie Alvarez, it could be denied pretty quickly.
Eddie Alvarez has shown time and time again he can take a punch. Oh, big body shot there by Alvarez.
Yeah. And now Eddie's starting to throw a few bombs here under a minute to go in round 1.
I think both fighters are going to take the first round and feel each other out a little bit. They know it's a 5-round fight. Both guys having a good pace.
And again, it seems like there's some blood dripping out of the right eye of Toby Imada. We know he can take a punch given what we saw against Jorge Masvidal, but opened up here early against Eddie Alvarez.
Got to talk to Eddie Alvarez a little this afternoon. Talked about how he likes to fight. He likes to bring the fight to guys, and that's clear. He's pushing Toby Imada around the ring.
Yeah, Eddie really getting it going with that left hand towards the end of round 1. So just as the doctor ordered, the lightweight title's on the line. 1 round in the books from Hollywood, Florida. An eye on that here in round number 2. You saw the judo throw there. Toby Imada certainly has the judo credentials. A huge right hand for Eddie Alvarez. Imada hits the canvas, and his chin will be tested here. Alvarez into the full mount. Imada holding on, trying to survive. But what a start to the second round for Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, he came out with a big right hand that just floored Imada. And man, I don't think Imada even realized where he was for a few seconds. And Eddie hopped in him out. Now on the back of the Jiu-Jitsu specialist. This could be an impressive win here if the striker wins 3 in Bellator via submission, especially against a guy who's a black belt in judo.
Oh, and that is Eddie Alvarez by rear naked choke, a 3rd submission win. Eddie Alvarez is the Bellator lightweight champion, the champion of the world.
How a Jerry fight, that was a lot of good back and forth action. You see Eddie threw that overhand right that his corner was yelling for, and it just worked from there on out. You take a look at this from another angle. He slips over and then throws that big a la Chuck Liddell right hand over the top, flooring Toby Imada. Hops into rear naked choke position, sinks that right hand around the throat. Couldn't really tell from the angle we were at, but when we saw the referee Jason Herzog come in there and stop it, it was all over. The submission victory.
Yeah, you see the tap there on the leg, and Eddie Alvarez, why not? What a night, and we talk about him as a knockout artist, really set up the submission with his power, the huge right hand, and then such a gifted, accurate striker. The right hand lands once again with Imada on the ground.
Damas y caballeros, una estrangulación mata León, obliga a la esquina azul a rendirse con un tiempo oficial. de 38 segundos el segundo asalto. Ladies and gentlemen, a rear naked choke forces the blue corner to tap out with an official time of 38 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, by way of submission, el ganador por sumisión. Y ahora, el campeón peso ligero, and now, the Bellator Fighting Championships lightweight champion, Eddie Alvarez. Presentando el cinturón de campeonato, introducing the world title belt, CEO of Bellator, Bjorn Rebney.
Three months ago, you were Eddie Alvarez tournament favorite. 3 months later, you're Eddie Alvarez lightweight champion.
That sounds great, don't it? A lot of my family came out here to Florida to support me, and no man's an island. I can't do it without my city, my family, and my friends, and they're all here.
Nobody would have thought that your 3 wins in Bellator would have come via submission. Talk us through this fight.
Toby's a good submission guy, but we seen in the training camp he throws weak jabs, and we just wanted to land that overhand right over one of them weak jabs. Hey, I want to thank all my training partners back at the Fight Factory: Zach, Judah, Sam, Ricky Lee, Steve Haig, Bill Shook, everyone back at my team. I'm with them day in and day out, and a really great group of guys, and I love you guys. I know you're watching.
Someone else who is watching the fight tonight, Bjorn Rebney. Bjorn?
Congratulations, Eddie Alvarez, man. Great performance. Came in as one of the best in the world. He leaves here as our champion. We could not be happier to have this guy as our champion. Congratulations to you, to your family. Magic. We're thrilled.
What's next for Eddie Alvarez?
What's next? Where's my wife and my kids at? I tell you what, I've been spending the last year and a half day in and day out training. I think it's time, Bjorn, please let me get a break. I know the UFC guys said, please give me a shot at the belt. Please give me a break, a small break, that's all I want.
Can you get a break?
Absolutely.
You got a break, and you've got the belt, Eddie Alvarez!
We are set for this Bellator lightweight world title fight. Jimmy, our tale of the tape.
You see Pat Curran 13-3, Alvarez a stunning 21-2, and those victories have come against some top talent. Like we said, Kawajiri, Hansen, those are huge names, very tough fighters.
And Jimmy, your inner circle.
Well, no confidence for Curran. Eddie has said he wants to start fast and break Curran's will. Look for him to hit fast and hard. Keep the pressure on. Curran hurt Imada twice in their fight and backed off both times. Eddie tends to get dropped in fights. If he is, Curran has to follow up and finish because he won't get many chances. Securing his place. Eddie Alvarez is in the top 5 in his weight class. Every performance of his is a statement to the other 155-pounders in the top 10. What statement will he make tonight?
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 presents the first world title fight of 2011. Sponsored by Hannah, the new action thriller starring Eric Bana and Cate Blanchett, in theaters everywhere Friday. This title fight sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribal Department of Athletic Regulation, Chairman Bruce Bosom, Supervisors Cage Side, Mike Mazzoli, and Mike Murtha. And now from Mohegan Sun, a world at play. We go inside the cage, 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. And now introducing first, fighting out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in at 154 pounds. His professional record, 13 wins, 3 defeats. From Crystal Lake, Illinois, the Season 2 lightweight tournament winner, Patty Mike Curran. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the blue corner at 5'8". He weighed in the same at 154 pounds. The well-rounded veteran brings 21 professional victories against only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in MMA, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the defending Bellator Lightweight World Champion, Eddie Alvarez. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Keith Peterson.
said it all the time. Got my commands all the time. So touch gloves if you like. Let's fight.
This Bellator World Championship fight is under the unified rules of MMA. It is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed, both standing and on the ground, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent.
Sir, you ready? Fight!
Round number 1. Our Bellator clock is presented by the new action thriller Hannah, in theaters everywhere Friday.
Now, Eddie said a fast start is vital. I want to let him know he's not on my level.
Pat Curran is in the gray trunks. The champion Eddie Alvarez is in the white trunks. Already chance of Eddie ringing through Mohegan Sun.
I've said it before, I think Eddie Alvarez might be the best pure boxer in MMA. He has great hands, good head movement.
Just like that. Lead right hand.
But look at the... It's not just the right hand, it's that he angles off and he throws it, then he's out of the way.
Alvarez barely landed with that kick. Curran didn't even flinch. Alvarez not getting through with that right hand.
You know, Pat's got to throw. He's got to throw enough to keep Eddie Alvarez from getting confident.
Alvarez told us in the fighter meeting, Jimmy, he thought Pat Curran was going to run. He did not think he would sit in the pocket and trade.
Well, he backpedaled a lot against Toby Imada. Oh, look at that straight right down the pipe. Speed kills. I'll say it over and over again. When I spar, a guy that hits me hard doesn't scare me. A guy that can hit me and I don't know where it came from, that freaks you out. That's Eddie Alvarez. He does both, actually. Pat Curran taking the center of the cage, but not really throwing anything.
Look at the movement by Eddie Alvarez, the lateral movement, Jimmy. Look at the footwork.
Moving his head as well. He's one of the few guys I talk to. You know, I own a boxing gym, you know, Sweet Science MMA, and the boxing trainers there talk about Eddie Alvarez like a boxer, like, man, I'm really impressed with his hands, and that's rare. Not a lot of boxing guys are impressed with the hands of MMA fighters. Eddie Alvarez has pro boxing level hands.
Curran, though, Jimmy's just landed 2 left hands. Step in right by Alvarez, misses. Straight left by Curran. Right to the body, landed left to the head, missed by Alvarez. Again, the chant of Eddie. Thigh kick by Curran. Alvarez did not flinch on that. So much bounce in the step of Eddie Alvarez.
I think part of the strategy here might be for Pat Curran, you know, take Eddie Alvarez's measure, show him I'm in it to win it. I'm not just going to fold in the first round.
Alvarez with a single leg takedown, gets the back. Curran right back to his feet. Waist cinch now held by the champion Alvarez. Applying pressure.
One thing all of his training partners have told me about Pat Curran, he has great takedown defense. We're seeing that right now.
Knee by Curran, not much on that. Looking for the inside trip is Alvarez. Got knee by Curran on the counter. Avoided the takedown, landed the knee.
But every second that goes by that he's in this fight, Pat Curran, his confidence is going to grow. He's going to think, hey, this isn't so tough. I can stay in here with this guy.
Chopping thigh kick by Curran, who does not look intimidated.
No, he does not. You know, if Eddie Alvarez thought he was going to have his way in the first round, he's doing well, but he's not having his way with Pat Curran.
Alvarez letting go with the hands. Uppercut with the left hand by Alvarez. Simultaneous jump knees. Bit of a smile from both fighters there.
One thing Alvarez is good at are those body shots. He's good at working the ribs.
Again, there's that almost flailing step in right hand by Alvarez. Left by Curran.
Curran starting to find his range here, starting to get the timing of Alvarez a little bit.
Live next Saturday night on MTV2, it's Bellator 40, which again will feature Bellator's 170-pound world champion Ben Askren versus UFC and Sengoku veteran Nick Thompson in a non-title super fight. The broadcast will begin at our regular starting time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
Now, I'm impressed with Pat Curran's takedown defense so far. Remember, Josh Neer had no answer for the takedown of Eddie Alvarez.
Curran was a high school wrestler in his native Florida. Straight right hand by Curran. Bolo punch there by Alvarez, but missed with the right hand. Curran missed with that right hand. 2 to the body there by Alvarez. He looks like a boxer, not like an MMA puncher when he throws those body shots.
Oh, he certainly does not.
Stiff left jab by Curran. Both fighters looking for one more big shot in round number 1. Round number 2 of this Bellator World Lightweight title fight. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
10-9 Eddie Alvarez, but a very close first round. Pat Curran started counter-punching a lot more effectively the second half of that round.
Pat Curran is in the gray trunks. The champion, Eddie Alvarez, is in the white trunks. Curran feinted with the push kick.
I thought Eddie landed a little bit better and was obviously a bit more aggressive.
Good sprawl there by Curran, then through the right knee. Curran just missing with that right hand over the top. Curran much more stationary. Alvarez a lot of movement side to side. There's the push kick from Curran.
No, Pat Curran not pushing anything. He's waiting for Alvarez to come in. He's trying to land that counter shot.
When Curran defeated Roger Huerta, he was so effective with the push kicks in that bout last May. Left hand by Alvarez comes forward. Feinted the shot, got Curran to sprawl. Big uppercut. Just glanced though.
He has to counter, he can't wait. You see there, there's a difference. It may look like the same thing, but when Pat Curran is standing there and he's firing back, that keeps Eddie at bay. If you're just standing there looking at him, that's gonna be a problem. That's what Pat Curran is getting caught doing, standing there looking at him last couple minutes.
Alvarez applying the pressure. Putting Curran's back against the fence and throwing lefts to the rib cage. Another left to the body.
That's what he's so good at, those body shots. Not used that effectively in MMA.
Pat Curran, of course, trained by his first cousin, Jeff Curran. People say legend a lot in sports. He's a legend in MMA, Jeff Curran. Fought in Pride, WEC, of course, in Bellator. Instrumental in getting Pat Curran into this title fight.
You say legends, he's a pioneer. He's one of the first ones out there, well-rounded. Just really an outstanding fighter and trainer.
Straight right hand by Alvarez.
And you got to give Pat points for composure.
Another right hand by Alvarez. Again, look at the lateral movement of the champion, Jimmy.
In and out, back and forth, good head movement.
He throws some wide, wild shots. Those bolo punches, those uppercuts, yet Curran not countering.
You see Curran trying to time it. I think Eddie Alvarez's movement is making that very difficult, but Eddie's throwing wild punches, and that's not good against a counter fighter.
Knee by Curran. Alvarez looking for the outside trip. Well defended by Curran.
Now it's interesting. Pat Curran never had that Division I wrestling experience. He was never a standout grappler, but his takedown defense is really excellent.
Knee by Curran as Alvarez applying all sorts of pressure. Chopping kick by Curran. Alvarez right back undaunted. Good body shots.
Man, you can hear those. Pat Curran nodding like, all right, you got me.
Uppercut by Alvarez. Straight left hand by Curran.
And what that does is it brings your elbows down. You're worried about the body shot. You pull your elbows down to your ribs, and that's when the right hand comes over the top.
Lead right hand by Alvarez. Again, you see the sprawl, then the knee by Curran. Cousin Jeff Curran in the corner yelled yes on that. Obviously, they've been working on knee from the sprawl on the shot. See Alvarez fishing for the outside trip. There's the good balance of Curran. Again, the knee. Another kick by Eddie Alvarez.
Eddie has faith in those body shots. They pay dividends. do them early. By the 4th, 5th round, it's very hard to breathe. Remember, this is a 5-round fight.
Deep into round number 2 of this Bellator World Lightweight title fight. Pat Curran versus the champion Eddie Alvarez at Bellator 39. And the champion Alvarez looking for the takedown, going for the single leg.
Eddie Alvarez got hurt by that knee coming in. Got hit by it. I don't know if he was hurt, but he's putting pressure on Pat Curran now.
Left to the body by Alvarez. Dying seconds now of round number 2. Warning to Alvarez from referee Keith Peterson for holding the fence. Curran with the elbow. Makovsky, Bellator's 135-pound world champion, is in the corner tonight of Eddie Alvarez, his regular training partner. Round number 3.
Well, Alvarez is starting out banging now.
Again, this for Bellator's world lightweight title.
I think Eddie has realized this will not be easy. I need to turn it up to get this kid out of here.
Pat Curran is in the gray trunks. The champion Eddie Alvarez is in the white trunks. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
Well, I have it 2-0 for Eddie Alvarez, 20-18. There are 2 decisions to be made here. Eddie Alvarez, is he going to turn it up like we're seeing him do here? He's starting out more aggressively to try and get this kid out of here. And is Pat Curran going to decide, is it enough to hang with the champ, or do I want to win this fight? Do I want to start taking rounds?
Jimmy, I asked Eddie Alvarez 2 days ago in our fighter meeting, if you win and you win all 5 rounds, but it's a decision, will you be disappointed? Without hesitating, Eddie Alvarez said yes. Then he paused and he said, well, if it's a war and Curran gives a gutsy effort, no, I won't be disappointed. But clearly Alvarez says that he wants to finish, and he says that he trains to finish fights. Throwing the right hand there is Alvarez.
Yeah, but Eddie's certainly throwing with more authority in this round than he has in the previous 2.
Left hand by Curran. Curran trying to stick out the jab. Alvarez stepping in with the right hand. He's throwing a lot of straight rights from that southpaw, from that conventional stance.
He likes that right hand lead. He throws the right hand and then angles. Now going southpaw. He's so slippery, he's tricky, he's very hard to get a handle on. But he drops his hands a lot, so we'll see if Pat Curran can take advantage of that.
When southpaw, the conventional, and loading with the hands there.
Nice uppercut.
Curran missing with that jab.
Oh, good uppercut again.
The short left by Alvarez.
Another thing is, like I said, Eddie Alvarez gets dropped in just about every fight. It's not like he has a granite chin. He gets dropped, he comes up, and he keeps fighting. So Pat has to know, if I can land that one good shot, I got a good chance here.
A trickle of blood coming out of the left nostril of Eddie Alvarez. Thigh kick there by Curran. Alvarez lands so effectively to the body even when he misses the head. Another sprawl from Curran.
I like what Eddie Alvarez is doing here. He's showing a lot of maturity. He's picking his spots. He knows he's winning this fight. He's not getting frustrated by the fact that this wasn't an easy fight, that, Pat Curran, he hasn't landed those huge shots yet. He's landed some good ones in this round. He's showing that championship maturity.
This the 24th pro MMA fight for Eddie Alvarez. Just the 3rd time that he has been into round 3. For Pat Curran, it's his 16th pro MMA fight, and it's the 9th time that he has been into round 3. Alvarez normally does the business pretty quickly.
Oh,
good body shot there.
Great body shots. You see the pain on the face of Pat Curran.
Curran tried to answer with a jump kick. Straight right hand by Alvarez. Good inside, deep inside thigh kick by Alvarez.
Getting hit in the head can knock you out. Getting hit in the body makes you want to quit. That's the difference between those 2 shots. You get hit in the body, man, I don't want to be in here anymore.
Curran took a big step back to the body, then the big sweeping left to the head, and a straight right jab to the face of Curran by Alvarez.
I think Eddie's finding his range now, especially with those wicked body shots. First big takedown.
Driving his man down.
Now, one thing we've seen, especially against Roger Huerta, Pat Curran is very hard to hold down. You can get him down, hard to keep him there.
Curran trying to scramble to his feet.
And he does.
Did not want to play on the ground. Short right hand by Curran. He's in an awkward position here in the closing stages of round number 3.
See, Eddie Alvarez going for that outside trip, trying to work the takedown a little bit.
Body shot with the left hand by Alvarez.
That's the problem, is it's body, head. As soon as you think, man, I gotta watch out for these rip shots, that's when he comes upstairs.
Alvarez has been effective to the head, Jimmy, but he's been really effective with those punches to the body.
You see Eddie now, a little bit of smile on his face.
The bell and round number 4. Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
3 rounds to none for Eddie Alvarez, 30-27. I think Pat Curran needs to step it up here. He has to make that decision I talked about earlier. Is it good enough to hang with the champ, or am I going to win this fight?
Pat Curran is in the gray trunks. The champion Eddie Alvarez is in the white trunks. Again, this for Bellator's world lightweight title.
Man, I am so impressed with the body work of Eddie Alvarez. Some of the best body punching I've ever seen in MMA.
Jimmy, some people believe in this thing called moral victories. I don't believe in moral victories, not in MMA and not in life. I don't think Pat Curran is thinking, well, if I go 5 rounds against Eddie Alvarez, it's a moral victory. I think that he believes he can still win this fight, and I think he's going to try to win this fight.
I agree.
What does a moral victory get you? A loss. Nice right hand on the inside by Curran.
Man, you seem pretty harsh on the moral victories there, Sean. Dang.
Just too much talk, Jimmy, in sports about moral victories.
Man. Well, you know, I guess there's some out there, you know. I know guys who have made a whole career out of I almost sweat kicks and Gracie. So, hey, you know, sometimes they're out there.
Curran definitely came into this title fight thinking that he could win, no question.
Yeah, definitely.
And he said, interestingly, that he was more confident for this fight versus Alvarez, who he did concede is the best opponent of his career, than he was for either the Huerta fight or the Imada fight last year.
I think he knows that I'm on the championship level. I fought championship guys and I won. I didn't beat Eddie Alvarez, who's the best, but I'm on this level. I deserve to be here. That's a huge mental step. And he's being very aggressive in this 4th round.
And again, credit to Pat Curran. He may be down, Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard, but he is not fighting just to survive 25 minutes. He's still trying to win this fight. Alvarez, though, looking pretty comfortable here in round number 4.
Yeah, both guys, really enjoying what they're doing. They're nodding at each other. They're talking.
Again, the chant of Eddie here at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Now we're seeing some blood, I think, out of the nose of Pat Curran.
A lot of Alvarez's fans have made the trip from Philadelphia.
Now his nose is bleeding a lot. Problem with that is it interferes with your ability to breathe. It runs down the throat. Hard to get a full breath.
I believe that blood is coming out of both nostrils.
And will those body shots slow Pat Curran down? Now in that 4th round, he's been eating those for a while. Hard to get a full breath.
Alvarez definitely feeling pretty good about things. You see from his movement.
Man, that nose is leaking badly. I don't think it's broken, but he is definitely bleeding a lot out of his nostrils.
Straight right hand by Alvarez.
Man, that head movement of Eddie Alvarez is incredible. It's like a cobra.
Alvarez continuing to stick to jab, then the thigh kick.
Kind of a style almost reminiscent of those who saw Prince Nassim Hamed in his prime. Low hands, but unbelievable head movement.
I was thinking about Prince Nassim Hamed. Interesting you said that, Jimmy. I was thinking about him in round number 1, how unorthodox Alvarez looked, and yet still so effectively landing those punches.
Oh, man, he's got him hurt now.
Alvarez backing up Pat Curran. Perhaps sensing a finish in the closing stages of round 4.
But Eddie Alvarez has a lot of respect for the power of Pat Curran. You can tell. I think he walked through a lot of Roger Huerta's shots. I think he's showing a lot more respect to Pat Curran in this fight.
Alvarez not getting through with those punches, but Curran stepping backwards. Curran sticking out the left jab. 1-2 by Curran, but both miss the mark.
And now just walking it off a little bit.
Alvarez has the skill, the speed, the timing, the accuracy to land the uppercuts, the bolo punches, the big wide shots from very, very difficult angles.
And it's all about speed and angling. Those are his keys to success. He's very fast. He never stops moving, always lateral side to side. Hard to time a guy like that.
Look at that, an uppercut and then 2 straight left shots to the face.
Good takedown. Now going for the guillotine, but like I always told my guys, no guard, no guillotine. He does not have the guard.
Alvarez popping his head free. See a lot of blood coming out of both nostrils of Pat Curran's nose.
But he's not going to go wild. He's not going to risk a lot to get the knockout. But he's going to keep the pressure on.
Into our 5th and final round of this Bellator World Lightweight title fight. Jimmy, once more on your scorecard.
Well, once again, it's another round for Eddie Alvarez. I have it 4 rounds to none.
Pat Curran is in the gray trunks, the champion Eddie Alvarez in the white trunks. And Alvarez so emphatic in saying, I train to finish fights. Push kick attempt there by Curran. Single leg shot, and the takedown by Alvarez. Curran right back to his feet.
Pat's so good with that takedown defense. Going
Curran, that was clever, trying to turn out of the waist cinch.
That going for the switch, that's classic wrestling.
Alvarez sticking out the left hand. Alvarez was a very good high school wrestler in his native Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, a very tough wrestling state.
This is our 5th and final round of this Bellator World Lightweight title fight. Pat Curran, who earned this title shot by winning Bellator's Season 2 155-pound tournament last year, versus Bellator's first and so far only World Lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez. With Jimmy Smith, I'm Sean Wheelock. Glad you're with us for Bellator 39 from Mohegan Sun, live on MTV2.
Now, if you're Pat Curran right now, you got to let it all hang out. You're taking on the champion. On my scorecard, he's down 4 rounds to none. You do not want to leave this to the judges. You're in Eddie Alvarez's backyard. It's time to go for broke.
Look at Alvarez shuffling his feet. Talked about Prince Nassim Hamed. How about Sugar Ray Leonard circa 1982 there?
Crowd getting a little upset because Pat Curran is waiting back, looking to counterpunch. He's not being as aggressive as Eddie Alvarez.
Alvarez trying to drive his man back. Curran continuing to pump the left jab. He's never really found a home for that punch in this fight. Alvarez letting go with the hand once more.
Pat Curran doing a good job of covering up at the right time. His defense is pretty sound, but he's just not firing back like he did in the first 2 rounds. But Eddie Alvarez, man, still moving like crazy. Still on his bicycle, still moving around. A lot of footwork. And we're in the last 2 minutes of a very tough 5-round fight, and he is still moving.
Body kick by Curran. Alvarez just walked through that. That's a nice left hand by Curran.
Going for the flying knee, hit him with the left hook.
Alvarez obviously feeling in full control of this title fight. Alvarez with the outside kick, then backs off.
I heard his corner just say you got 1:30 to make this happen. That's all he has left. His counterpunching has not been effective. He might have to just go for broke here and throw.
Push kick by Curran. Alvarez with the right hand.
Eddie just such an elusive target.
Big uppercut by Alvarez. One of his best punches of this fight, certainly his best punch of round 5.
Good left hand.
Into minute 25, the final minute of this bout.
Pat Curran still firing back, still trying to win. And his face is a mess.
The champion Eddie Alvarez looks in full control. A hop there for emphasis in the center of the Bellator cage.
I've never seen that as a setup to a takedown. Hop and then double leg. Never seen that before.
There's the takedown from Pat Curran. Open guard from Alvarez.
What can he do with 30 seconds left, though?
Alvarez now in a tight, low, closed guard, then opens his guard, tries to shrimp. Alvarez punching with the left from the bottom. Shots through the top by Pat Curran. Looking for a miracle finish, Jimmy. And Alvarez back to his feet.
And they are slugging till the final bell.
It certainly was not a squash, but Jimmy Smith, it was an outstanding performance by Eddie Alvarez. How do you have this fight scored?
At 50-45, I gave every single round to Eddie Alvarez. We'll have to see what the judges think, but I thought he looked good for 25 solid minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Judge David Torelli scores the fight 49-46. While judges Brian Miner and Carlo Urso both see the fight 50-45, all for the winner by unanimous decision, and still a Bellator lightweight world champion, Eddie Alvarez.
Credit to Pat Curran. He did not try to survive. He tried to win.
Here with your winner, Eddie Alvarez, who's running away from me. That's cool. I have that effect on people. Eddie, he did not come to survive this fight. Pat Curran came to win. Is that what you expected?
Yeah, guy's got a hard head, man. He could take a shot. Same kind of fight I got with. I was starting to find my rhythm, and he just stuck in there, man, through thick and thin. Tough kid.
Were you surprised at his resilience? You hit him with a lot of shots, never really had him hurt. He was in it the whole time.
Absolutely. I wish I had the heart he had at his age. So Pat's going to be a champion, no doubt. And my hat's off to him tonight.
What are your thoughts? It's your first title defense. What are your thoughts on the rest of the guys at 155 pounds? Patricky Pitbull looked amazing tonight.
He absolutely did. Guy's got a lot of weapons. I thought Toby was going to be able to outwork him, but it didn't get out of the first, and Patricky's super dangerous in the first. Looked great. I'm looking forward to fighting that guy.
Well, thank you very much. Your Bellator 155-pound champion, Eddie Alvarez, ladies and gentlemen.
Two of the best lightweights in the world and our tale of the tape.
And that is why, look at those records. Both guys very experienced. They have wins. I mean, knockouts for Eddie Alvarez, submissions for Aoki, some for Eddie. I mean, these guys have seen everything. What will we see tonight? That's the question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator Fighting Championships tonight from the IX Center, Cleveland, Ohio. Now present the long-awaited rematch, 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Brought to you by Safe, starring Jason Statham, in theaters April 27. And now first introducing the red corner at 5'11", weighing in at 154.5 pounds. The reigning Dream Lightweight Champion enters the Bellator cage with 30 professional victories, 5 defeats. From Tokyo, Japan, presenting Shinya Aoki. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in the same at 154.5 pounds. The former Bellator lightweight world champion returns with 22 professional wins, 3 defeats. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, introducing Eddie Alvarez. And the referee in charge of the action, Jerry Chris.
Gentlemen, you're here for the main event. I want a clean fight, and all these fans here in Cleveland want an exciting fight. Touch gloves, return your corners.
This fight is under the unified rules of MMA, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed. Aoki is in the black trunks. Alvarez is in the black and white trunks. Jerry Chris is the referee. The bell in round number 1.
How does Eddie Alvarez begin? He said, I'm going to let Aoki bring the fight to me. He's not a great initiator.
Alvarez said that the mistake he made last time, above and beyond not believing he could actually win, was that he was too aggressive. He said that he has been working on training and it's been very difficult to actually slow down and not be so aggressive.
One thing Aoki does do well on the feet, he throws good kicks. We saw that against Shaolin. He threw a lot of kicks, a lot of body kicks. You saw already he can kick to the head.
Body punch by Alvarez.
Alvarez, of course, the much better puncher, however.
Again, Aoki, the reigning Dream Lightweight Champion, but his title is not on the line, but both men approaching this like a world title fight.
See Eddie always circling to his right, away from the power of Shinya Aoki.
There's a shot from Aoki, and there's the patience of Alvarez, and he's not diving in. Inviting his opponent to stand up, and Aoki does.
No way he's going to dive into that guard. I think it's the most dangerous guard in MMA.
Push kick from Aoki, just a rangefinder. Good right hand by Alvarez. A lot of head movement from Eddie Alvarez.
See the game here, pick him apart, dive in and out.
Now it's Aoki coming forward, missing with the wide right hand.
One thing, Eddie gets dropped in almost every fight. And not necessarily against the hardest punchers. He's had trouble with that in the past.
Alvarez almost makes a joke of it at times, that he just gets hit and he goes down, but he recovers quickly.
The problem is that Aoki's not going to try and finish him with strikes. He's going to jump on top of him and try and submit him if he rocks him. That's the difference in this fight. In a striking way, he recovers. Oh, good right hand!
Aoki dropped. Alvarez now more big right hands. Huge shots and looking to finish his Alvarez. The towel's in.
The towel is in, and they didn't see it.
Referee Jerry Chris did not see the towel, and there is the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the official time 2 minutes, 14 seconds into round number 1. The winner by TKO, Eddie Alvarez.
Here is Jimmy with Eddie Alvarez.
I'm here with your winner, Eddie Alvarez. Eddie, so many changes personally and professionally leading up to this fight. What does this win mean to you?
It means Bjorn Rebney, show me the money. Bjorn Rebney, where you at? Show me the money, baby.
I tell him that every week and it never works, but maybe you can, I don't know. Doesn't work for me. Did you know you had Shinya Aoki hurt? You dove into a very dangerous guard. It caught him by surprise. Was that the point?
You know, sorry, Jim, I'm not answering your question here. I have so many people to thank.
You're not alone.
I was in a bad spot in the last couple months. My management team, Glenn Robinson, the Black Zillions, Coach Mario, Coach Mo, Coach Van, all my training partners, Steve Young. The list goes on, and most of all, my wife. I left my home for the first time to prepare for this fight, and it was heart-wrenching for me, but I'm gonna be able to go home with a check for my kids and my wife tonight, so I'm happy.
Well, congratulations, Eddie. You get your revenge. Your winner, Eddie Alvarez.
Our tale of the tape. You see nothing highlighted. Age, height, weight, reach, all relatively the same. No physical differences really between these guys. It's going to be the intangibles that decide this fight.
You ready? That is what it's at stake. Bellator's lightweight world title, round number 1. Alvarez in the red trunks, the champion Chandler in the white trunks.
The thing about Chandler, he likes to keep his hands low and rely on his speed. That might be a mistake against Eddie.
Side-to-side movement from Alvarez. Swing and a miss, then the slip by Chandler. Alvarez didn't pounce.
That's one thing that's always impressed me about Eddie is his footwork. Not a lot of guys in MMA have that boxing angling footwork. Eddie Alvarez does.
Right hand lands from Alvarez. So Chandler trying to establish the jab. Chandler coming forward.
The one advice I would have given Eddie Alvarez in my first round if I were his coach is move, move, move. Head movement, foot movement. Don't stand in front of this kid like you did at the beginning of the last fight. Make him miss, frustrate him, make him pay.
Alvarez looking very loose on his feet. Now looking for the single leg. Chandler doing well to defend. Gets the separation.
In Eddie Alvarez's corner, Kenny Monday. U.S. Olympic gold medalist, outstanding wrestler. You know he's been working on his takedown defense.
Stiff left jab by Alvarez. Already an abrasion under Chandler's right eye. Good right hand by Alvarez.
Eddie loves that punch, that lead right hand.
Alvarez just waving Chandler in. Chandler yet to find the striking timing.
You tell what Eddie wants to do, frustrate the kid. Angle, move, make him miss, make him frustrated. He may be naturally faster, he may have picked up a lot of boxing, but Eddie Alvarez just more experienced.
Good right hand by Chandler. Chandler swinging hard as he steps into the pocket, Jimmy. Above the waistline from Chandler, now walking forward. Counter left from Alvarez. Good right hand. Alvarez looking for the single leg. The fighters back to their feet. 1:45 remaining, round number 1. Scheduled for 5. This for the Bellator lightweight world title.
One thing Eddie's gonna have to do is counter-strike effectively. Catch Alvarez when he misses. When he makes mistakes, make him pay, make him back off. Because right now, he's certainly the aggressor in this fight. Isn't landing effectively yet, but he's certainly pushing the pace. Good strategy against somebody like that is land some good counter-strikes, make him respect you.
Chandler missing badly with that lead left hook. Still he comes forward. Alvarez, a lot of lateral movement, Jimmy.
Nice jab.
Kick caught. Chandler pounces. Has to get one hook in. Big takedown. Chandler now has his right hook in.
I can't see how deep it is from here. It's deep.
Tied on the rear naked choke. Chandler looking to finish. 28 seconds to go. Can he find it in this time? No. Great submission defense from Alvarez as he powers out. What a look of grit and determination on the face of Eddie Alvarez. John McCarthy recognized the accidental headbutt. Quick separation. Right back to it. Chandler right back to it, driving in. Slip by Chandler. Here comes round two.
You ready? Get up.
Jimmy, your scorecard round one.
Very close first round. I went 10-9 Chandler. Eddie was landing good, effective counter strikes at the beginning of the round. Then he was still angling toward the end of the round, but Michael Chandler started taking over. You saw the takedown at the end. Very close, but 10-9 Chandler on my scorecard.
Oh, good right hand, then the left. Counter right back from Alvarez. Misses badly. Bounce in the step of the champion, Michael Chandler. Chandler's worked so much, not just on his footwork, but on his head movement in his stand-up. Bring the C punches better, slip punches better. Flipping right from Alvarez. Chandler, you can see just loading up that right hand, Jimmy.
Landed a couple of good ones so far.
Alvarez on his bicycle, circling to a better angle.
Likes that look away right hand, that strafing right hand. It's been a very effective punch for him. Just like that.
Slight abrasion now under the left eye of Eddie Alvarez. Trying to establish his jab. Good left hand, almost a look away. 1-2.
Nice jabbing. What will it do to the energy level of Eddie Alvarez? He has been circling non-stop since the beginning of this fight. Costs a lot of energy angling that much. It's an effective strategy. Move, but it also takes a lot of gas.
Stiff jabs from Alvarez. See, Chandler, though, Jimmy, is he's walking and really trying to showcase that head movement. To the body. Looking for the takedown, and he gets it. Right back, another takedown from the waist cinch. See, Alvarez trying to pop back to his feet.
Chandler has what I call wrestler's jiu-jitsu. It's opportunistic. Things like rear naked chokes, guillotines, head and arm. He'll catch you in a bad position, and he'll capitalize on it. Can be very effective.
Earlier in round two, and another takedown by Chandler. I mentioned the abrasion under Alvarez's left eye, now bleeding from under his left eye. It's Chandler bleeding from under his right eye. Chandler trying to stay tight. Downward elbow strikes from Alvarez. See the blood on the thigh now of Eddie Alvarez. It's from under Chandler's right eye. Significant bleeding and significant swelling, Jimmy. Alvarez looking to his corner.
Come on, let's work. Let's go.
John McCarthy telling both fighters to work.
It's a difficult position for Michael Chandler to use here. Got to pull him off the fence.
Alvarez just looked at McCarthy like, are you going to stand us up? Alvarez gets up of his own volition. 50 seconds to go, round number 2.
Oh, nice combination.
Chandler's left eye is starting to swell significantly. And the level change from the champion. And the takedown. 20 seconds remaining, round 2. Open guard from Eddie Alvarez. Right hand from Chandler, posturing on his knees, close guard from Alvarez. 10 minutes in the books. Bellator's former lightweight world champion Eddie Alvarez versus that man, Bellator's reigning lightweight world champion Michael Chandler. Round number 3 of this rematch. Jimmy, what do you think thus far?
10-9 Chandler in round number 2. I thought Chandler landed better strikes. Other than that, oh, nice kick.
In the right hand.
An uppercut combination Eddie Alvarez threw was his best combo of the fight. I thought Chandler's activity and takedowns won him that second round. Very close, though.
Three rights to the body from Alvarez.
The question's gonna be what's gonna happen if that eye swells shut. Depth perception goes right out the window. Sorry, that left eye.
There's swelling under the right eye, but the really bad swelling's under the
really
left.
swelling shut.
Driving through, that's nicely defended by Alvarez. Stiff left jab from Alvarez again. Swing and a miss on the uppercut from Chandler. Hands much lower now, Jimmy, for Michael Chandler here in round 3.
And he always likes his hands low. I think that's a weakness in his style. He likes that low-handed kind of style, but you're relying on your speed there. Eddie Alvarez, of course, having a year off from MMA. He talked to us about it and says, I'm better because of that year off. I healed up in that year off. I got my head straight and my life straight in that 1 year. Now, Chandler, of course, more active, but if you remember, they've been quick fights. He blew away Gono, blew away Dave Rickles. Rick Hahn was only in the second round of a fight that he dominated, so he hasn't had a ton of rounds himself since he fought Eddie.
Bouncing the step of Chandler. Looking to successfully defend his Bellator lightweight world title for the 3rd time. Truthfully, Jimmy, no disrespect to David Rickles or Rick Hahn, the first time that he's been tested in the title defense.
Very true. Talk about him having more fights. Hasn't had a lot more ring time.
Chandler now bleeding out of his nose.
Eddie Alvarez starting to take advantage. Blending well with the jab, and he's targeting that eye.
Driving through, and again you see Alvarez. He's following through and getting the separation that he wants.
Problem is that each one of those takedowns he doesn't get costs him a lot of energy.
Alvarez, you see, just trying to kick out the leg. Chandler being very patient.
And Chandler looking very tired.
1-2 to answer, though, from Chandler.
Everybody down at Alliance has told me nobody trains like Michael Chandler. The guy's a madman in the gym. That's why I gave him the check mark, thinking he had the better gas tank. He looks very tired right now.
Spinning back fist from Alvarez, uppercut to counter from Chandler.
And bloody nose could be affecting his ability to breathe. His mouth very wide open.
And that left eye of Chandler looking like a bit of a disaster. Swollen and bleeding badly under the left eye. Also cut in his left lid. Second attempt for a rear naked choke. One hook in for Michael Chandler.
Not quite in the right position. And that eye is a mess.
Nicely done, just powering through Alvarez on the takedown. 25 seconds to go, round 3.
Well, you just said, only 25 seconds left. Not enough time to really use that top position.
Alvarez, you see, keeping Chandler close, out of striking distance from his open guard. Elbows to the body from Alvarez on his back. Forearm, then a left hand from Chandler from the top position. Body head with the right. The championship rounds upcoming.
You ready? Ready. Get up.
Round number 4 starts with a chant of Eddie. Here at the Long Beach Arena. Jimmy threw 3 rounds.
Gave Eddie Alvarez that last round, 10-9, having 2 rounds to 1 for Michael Chandler. The doctor looking very closely at that eye. Might give Chandler a bit of urgency in this 4th round.
Alvarez now trying to walk down Chandler, who's on his bicycle. Alvarez being busy with the left hand.
You see the shift. Oh,
Shot
nice
knee, and
flying
that
knee.
landed clean. Beautifully timed by the champion. More left hands though from Alvarez as he backpedals. Chandler coming forward, a good left hand. Shot to sprawl. Not much between these two fighters in the Bellator cage tonight. Rose guard now from Alvarez.
Now Eddie's looking tired. This is where Chandler wants to turn it on.
The blood on the face of Alvarez from that cut under his left eye.
Also out of the nose. His nose is bleeding quite a bit.
Open guard from the former champion Eddie Alvarez. The reigning champion Michael Chandler trying to go to work with his ground and pound. Big right hands. See Alvarez raise up with the chest hold, bringing him in close.
Eddie needs to get some distance, get back to his feet.
Chandler tenacious throwing those right hands from his knees. The big wide base, now the left.
Great
Another
elbow
left
fronts.
elbow. Right elbow to strike that time.
Get your fingers out of his throat, Mike.
McCarthy just telling Chandler, fingers out of the throat. He's using that to try to essentially hold the head of Alvarez still. Still open guard for Eddie Alvarez. Both fighters covered in blood, their own and each other's.
Trying to trap the arm, the right arm of Eddie Alvarez under his back. Then he can let go with the left hand.
Don't grab the glove, grab the whole hand, Michael.
Alvarez trying to shrimp and also trying to punch from his back. elbow strike from Chandler.
And Chandler really turning it on top. That's why they call these championship rounds. These are two of the top lightweights in the world.
Chandler looking to suck in the wrist and the arm of Alvarez. This is with that right hand. Landing with those right hands.
Dominant round so far for Michael Chandler. It's how much does Eddie Alvarez have left? That's the question.
And Jimmy Alvarez, time and time again, trying to throw from flat on his back. Not looking for sweeps, just shrimping and trying to punch.
Problem is, punches from the bottom are never as effective as punches from the top. He's got to use those strikes to set up something, be it a submission, a sweep, some space for an escape. Just elbows from the bottom, strikes from the bottom aren't going to do it.
Twice in sequence, McCarthy warning Alvarez,
Go,
grabbing
Mike,
the
you want to stay there?
fence.
Let's improve. Let's go. Let's go.
The bell can't come soon enough now for Eddie Alvarez. 10 seconds to go, round 4. Chandler letting go with punches and elbows from this top position. And we will go to the 5th and final round.
Step on back. Step on back.
The first time around,
Here we go. You ready? You
it
ready?
did not get out of the 4th round. Chandler submitting Eddie Alvarez. Here in the rematch, we have reached the 5th round. Jimmy, how do you see it thus far?
So far, I have it 3 rounds to 1 for Michael Chandler. I only gave Eddie round number 3. Eddie's corner very honest in between rounds. I said, you got to get him out of there if you want the belt, if you want to win. I agree completely.
Backing himself up. Shooting good sprawl from Alvarez on the double-leg attempt and 2 left hands. Jump knee again from Chandler.
Chandler's hands way down. Eddie needs to take advantage of those hands being down if he wants to take this fight. Oh, nice uppercut.
Takedown for Chandler. Set up in sequence from the uppercut. And now looking to take the back of Eddie Alvarez.
They are right in front of us. That is all crank. Pure power on the jaw and the neck. He's got to get underneath the chin to finish.
Chandler going hard on the crank.
Man, a crank takes a lot of energy. So you have the gas to finish that. He needs to get underneath the chin to get the choke.
Alvarez turning. Back to his feet. Cinch on Chandler.
Can't question the heart of either one of these guys. Eddie Alvarez still fighting hard, still fighting like he wants that belt. He's down, he's not out.
You see the blood dripping out of the mouth of Michael Chandler. Chandler trying to explode to a better position. Alvarez matching him turn for turn. Hammer fist now from Alvarez. 2 phenomenal fighters throwing down in the Bellator cage. Bloodied, bruised, swollen, beaten, and still they fight on. At stake, the Bellator lightweight world title. The former champion Eddie Alvarez versus the current champion, the man who took his title, Michael Chandler. 2:30 to go.
I would watch these guys fight 20 times, 30 times, as many times as Curran will put him in the cage. I'll watch him.
Chandler keeping himself grounded with his right hand. Also with his right knee. Lefts from Alvarez.
If this point, the bodies of both these guys have to be spent. I know they train hard, but so much of what you're seeing is heart and guts.
Chandler trying to somersault to a better position. Again, Alvarez matching him and gets one hook in.
Has two of them in.
Alvarez now thinking his own rear naked choke to finish and take back his title.
Can't see how deep it is, he might have it. Chandler able to roll out, but still full mount. He's in big trouble still.
Chandler again looking for the rear naked choke. Lost it. 1:15 to go. What a fight. Phenomenal.
Man, this is unbelievable. Chandler struggling at this point. Eddie doing everything he can to get the finish, but Chandler just won't give in. He's got to get out of this position, though.
The crowd not behind the champion, Michael Chandler, but behind the former champion, Eddie Alvarez.
They're just applauding the guts we're seeing here. Man, Chandler's face is a bloody mess. But he is still fighting and ends up on top.
Also covered in blood, and now he's on his back and in the open guard. This is beyond talent. This is character, Jimmy.
In fighting, you can't hide from who you are. You cannot hide from what's inside you. These guys are warriors.
The finish line in sight. Will we reach it? 15 seconds to go. Another takedown from the champion.
Man, another fight I feel privileged to see, Sean. Privileged to call.
A phenomenal 25 minutes in the Bellator cage.
I'm sorry one man has to take the belt. That was a championship performance by two warriors tonight. Look at this rear naked choke. So deep. Michael Chandler just fighting out of it. Pure heart, pure guts at this point. Battered, exhausted. Just unwilling to submit. And look at it here. Thought this might be the end of the fight. This image says all you need to know about this fight. The look on both of these fighters' faces. Eddie doing everything he can. He knew he needed to finish. Tried every trick in the book to get it, but Michael Chandler would not be denied at the end of that fight, ending the fight on top. Question is, was it enough?
To end all suspense, here's Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, we go 5 full rounds. So we now go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge, cage side Mike Beltran, sees the fight 48-47. He sees the fight for Chandler. Your second judge, Stephen Davis, scores the fight 48-47. He sees the fight for Alvarez. Your third and final judge, Derek Cleary, scores the fight 48-47 for the winner by split decision for the new and now two-time Bellator right-wing world champion, Eddie